Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. This is Chris.
Hey, Chris, the name's Liam.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I was just wondering, what's your personal opinion on the console wars? Because I have a lot of people telling me PS3 is winning, but from what I understand, I think the Xbox 360 is.
The console wars. This is a never-ending debate. I will tell you this, in all honesty, I've only owned a PS2, and quite frankly, I didn't get a whole lot of use out of it. I found the Xbox games were much more to my liking, but having not been a big Sony supporter at that point in time, I didn't have an assortment of PS1 games that I could bring over to the PS2 platform and, of course, play PS2 games. And then now the PS3, which, in my opinion, is nothing more than a Blu-ray DVD player. That's kind of how they were hoping Sony would, lead the charge with Blu-ray versus HD DVD. And, of course, Microsoft and the Xbox 360, decided to back HD DVD, well, at this point with a removable drive, which I believe some people have actually gotten to use inside of Windows Vista. I haven't actually gone that far. So I have, in my house, a few Xbox 360s. And the reason why is because I can more easily share my media throughout the entire network. I can browse my media center from any one of those Xbox 360s. I can control my music library from any of these Xbox 360s. And honestly, if I were to back any platform with network gaming, I'd have to hand it to Microsoft on this one. No doubt about it. As I said in many other times, I'm a casual gamer, so any kind of network gameplay I do is pretty simple. Nothing certainly that I couldn't do on a PC or a handheld device. But Sony just seems to have a tremendous challenge with network gaming. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, because you've got Sony and Microsoft duking it out over here, but over here in this corner, almost invisibly, is the Wii and Nintendo. And I can tell you this, people just seem to love their Wiis. I don't know why. It's fun, and I think, we get so serious with, a lot of these, intense games, first-person shooters, and, all these high levels of graphics that sometimes we forget that video games should be fun. And Nintendo's kind of taken that and made it an art form. Of course, I grew up with Nintendo games, the 8-bit Nintendo, the classic Nintendo. And I did have a Wii for a little while, but honestly, I just didn't get as much enjoyment out of it as I knew my parents would, so I ended up giving our Wii to my mom, and she took it home with her to Iowa because she likes working out and she wanted to play video games. She had DDR for the Xbox, but she couldn't figure out how to hook it up. So I'm hoping that she's going to be able to hook up the Wii and get hours of exercise out of that and not destroy any television that may be in front of her if the controller slips out of her hand and flies into the screen. So I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll end up picking up PS3. I don't think it's going to be for any kind of games. Right now the Xbox 360 suits me just fine. I'm very, very interested in the way Microsoft is going to bring more of the Xbox 360 out of the gaming realm and more into the personal connections realm. You've seen a lot of high-definition content being available through the Xbox 360. Now I believe they have a patent on instant messaging communications over television screens. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how Microsoft does this. They certainly, I think, have a better command on the software interface, at least in the Xbox 360, where Sony has a leg up is on the PSP. Of course, the PSP, the Slim that's coming out in a couple months? Can't wait to get that. I've been a big fan of the PSP for quite a while. This is where Microsoft doesn't have a foothold. They could, but they don't. They don't have the mobile market. Of course, Sony does. Problem with Sony is their desktop software sucks. I mean, it really sucks. The best software out there to synchronize your PSP with your machine is called iPSP. And it's available for $20 or $30 at Shareware. It's online. Very, very manageable. I believe there's a version for Windows as well as for OS X. Yo has it. He just posted in the chat room. So yeah, I guess there's no right or wrong answer for it. It just depends. If you like online gaming, Xbox 360 for the win. If you've got a media center or you live in the world of Windows, the Xbox 360 for the win. If you want to build your Blu-ray library over HD DVD, I'd say the PlayStation for the win. If you love Sony and think they could do no wrong, PlayStation. There's no right or wrong answer. It's a holy war. And I think, honestly, it's more than just based on games and gameplay. I think it's largely based on emotion and brand affinity. I don't know. So I realize it's
going to be like the next generation of gaming.
Well, honestly, I can tell you, this is my hope. My hope is this.
Get better.
The hope is, the graphics are going to get better. My hope, though, is instead of buying a Microsoft Xbox and having this platform run just Xbox games, the ultimate win would be the gaming console that could run any game. Now it's going to happen because if each particular gaming console has fundamentally the same platform or virtually the same platform, and games start to be available in a digital capacity, kind of like what Microsoft's doing with the marketplace on the Xbox 360. You're not going to buy discs anymore. So suddenly the formats of the discs are going to kind of disappear. And they could this is the true competition in the marketplace would be having, kind of like the way PCs work. You could buy Dell, you could buy HP, you could buy Lenovo, you could buy any of these PCs and they all run Windows. And then based upon that, you can make a better decision. You can get a better price. Instead of having a holy war of Xbox 360 versus PlayStation, you would then have a true war of saying, well, they can both run the same games, but I like the way the Xbox 360 controller works, or it's cheaper, or it fits better, or it's this way or it's that way. Right now, the console wars are so steeped in proprietary factors that it's impossible to, it's almost impossible to debate these things because it boils down to so many factors. It's not true competition, and my hope is that eventually gaming will become federated. I mean, imagine if the web...
What you're saying is that the console wars is pretty much an opinion, not really
Yeah, it's all an opinion. Yeah, you can't argue. It's a holy war. You can't sit here and argue one over the other. It's going to boil down to a personal decision, a personal opinion. Your lifestyle, does it fit your lifestyle? Does it fit your price point? Does it work? Does it have a game that you want?
Because the consoles really don't relate to each other in a much way, because 360 is good at online, Wii is good at active, and PS3 is, well, I have nothing really much to say about that.
Well, you're getting the general feel to it. Yeah, those are the broader issues, and we can go into specifics. But this is one that I'm sure as soon as we post this video, people are going to be saying PlayStation 3. No, forget that. Xbox. No, man, get the Wii. And then I guarantee someone's going to jump in and say Sega Genesis for the win. It's inevitable. But the way we play games, now, I mean, I can't wait to buy. Activision and Atari are releasing for the PSP. They're releasing the classic games, the old Atari games. I've got an emulator for Windows that I've showed off before to play these old ROMs, and you wouldn't imagine it, but at some point in the future, that's the way most games are going to be played. You won't have to worry about what platform you buy it for because they are just available. They'll just run anywhere. That's where I think Microsoft's in bigger trouble with DirectX, is that it's not a federated platform, whereas OpenGL, there's at least an opportunity to run it on any machine that supports OpenGL, and that would be just about any operating system. Anyway, so I don't know. What does everybody else think? I'm certainly interested in your opinions on the matter. This is a never-ending battle, and I'm sure someone's going to ask the same question in another week or so. You're certainly welcome to.
Clan fight on your chat.
Your what?
Down to that.
What's that?
Your chat. Your chat room getting spammed by.
Don't worry about it. We take it all the time. The chat room's fun. You know where the chat room's located, right? If people want to join us anytime, day or night. Where is it?
Yeah.
Where's it at? Can you give me the URL? The link? What's the link?
Livepirillo.com.
Will you later.